And we are live here on OneStream Live Studio. Hi, everybody. Krisa Skodra here, Connections Unplugged. I'm streaming live using OneStream to LinkedIn, Facebook, both my profile and my page, and of course, my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in and listening wherever you're watching us from. In this show, every week, I get a chance to talk to inspirational thought leaders and friends and connections that I have on my LinkedIn profile. This is why the show is called Connections Unplugged, from LinkedIn to life. So I bring to life, into my life and into your lives, and I introduce you to this inspirational people, one connection, LinkedIn connection at a time. So I have about 5,000 connections, great professionals in my network. So if I were to present to you one person a day, it would take me 13.5 years with some rough calculations. So this show has a long way ahead. This show has been on my mind for a long time. I wanted to, first of all, get to know who I have in my network on a professional and also on a personal level. And then I was thinking, I would love to bring these people to the forefront for you out there as well to listen. It's a big LinkedIn community. Why not introduce each other and get to know each other on a deeper level? Today, the person that I have in the studio waiting to come here to appear is Mrs. Tarja Takko. Hi, Tarja.
Hi, Krisa.
Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
You have also your own LinkedIn, thousands of LinkedIn connections. You're a strong professional iron lady here in Finland. We met, do you remember how long ago have we met? When did we become LinkedIn friends?
It's a good question. I think it's roughly, is it 5 months ago? So it's not that long.
Maybe so. I'm sure I met you during an event organized by Henley Business School here in Finland, in Helsinki. You were one of the keynote speakers. And, I was looking at my phone and searching you on LinkedIn to see a little bit about who is this lady who's going to give this talk coming up. And I remember that I liked your profile, your LinkedIn profile, and I sent you an invitation to connect. And when I pressed the button, you were sitting in front of me and you turned your head. So I thought, I just sent you a LinkedIn invite. So, and thank you for the inspirational talk that day, and of course, connecting with you. Let me share for the people who don't know you and they're watching us right now and listening, a couple of words. What you have yourself written in your LinkedIn profile, you state there in the headline that I'm a people and purpose professional committed to drive meaningful change. You've had a long career in global organizations. And then lately, you have been, you decided to establish your own company called Takko Advisory. And the focus there is to advance equity and well-being of people. And there's many reasons why I want us to get to know you today on a personal level, who you are, why purpose and people matter to you, and also what you do professionally. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How have you been? Do we go back to the childhood? Do you feel that your childhood shaped the way you are today?
Yes, I think everybody could say that everything starts from your childhood, and what is really the impact that has what you're focusing on today, that what you experienced as a child. For me, I think it's, I have a twin brother, and my mother was really, really keen that we are treated equally. So he was every time saying that even he's a boy and I was a girl, she was really clear that as twins, as people, as individuals, we need to be treated equally. And I think that was when I had the seed of this equality and fairness, that everybody really deserves to be treated equally. And this is something that has been driving me I think within my career in all my roles that I really see everybody as equal individuals, and I think everybody are on the same level, on the same page, and that's really, really important for me. I also have a big sister, I have a big brother, so we were quite a big family, and I really enjoyed being part of a big family. I have been born in Finland, but I have also lived in Hong Kong for a couple of years, and I have also lived in London, so experience in different cultures, which is also something that I have really, really enjoyed as part of my career and my work life, traveling a lot, working in international companies. So I really enjoy different cultures and what is the strength and richness the different cultures and people from different cultures are bringing.
I think you are, at least the impression I have of you, and very early on, I got that feeling, even from that first encounter we had during the event at Henley Business School, was that you're a very warm person. You're very intelligent, but you're very warm and open. I believe, as you just mentioned, you can talk to anybody. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have the feeling that you're traveling around the world, or you are here in Finland, going from a small village to the big city. I think you're a very approachable person. Is this coming from the person you are, the family setup that you described, or how come you have they say Finns are very shy and very, sometimes difficult to get to open up and so on. I think you're perhaps a different kind of Finnish person.
The Karelian type, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult to say where it's actually coming from. I think it's maybe part of my personality. I have one of my strongest values is care. I really care about. First of all, I care about people, and that's what I have been really focusing in my business life, and I also care about people outside of my business life. So I'm doing a pro bono work. I'm helping young people through mentoring, through coaching, and now studying also on this solution-focused therapy. So I really, really care about people, and I think there's so much that each one of us can do to make this world better by giving a little bit of your time and giving a little bit of your effort, whatever it is, and however you decide to do it. But I think yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background, and back in the early days, have you had mentors that helped you and wanted to share their wisdom and help you develop as a person? And that's why you want to give back. Have you had anybody in your life who you would consider a mentor?
I have definitely had a mentor, and I still actually continue having the same mentor. We are not meeting actively, but we are still keeping in touch, which I think is really, really valuable. And actually also I have been a mentor to quite a few people, and I'm still keeping in touch with almost all of them. So I love mentoring. I think it's really about creating long life relationships. But yeah, how has it shaped me? I don't know. I think it's I don't know. It's been already from the early years. It hasn't been super clear for me what I want to be when I grow up. When I was younger, and I started to study economics, and I have a master's degree in social sciences and also a master's degree in economics. But I have always been also interested in psychology, social psychology, which are also something that I studied in the university. So this psychological side of things, of people, the behavior, why people are behaving in the ways they are, and how can you actually impact the behaviors of people. This in the organizations is, I think, really, really vital.
Tell me about the organizations that you have worked. You worked for global companies, international ones, and you had key roles. What are the highlights of your professional career within your track record? What are the moments that you felt that you really have driven change, or you had a positive impact? What are the highlights? that you'd like to pick out?
Yeah, and to put it fairly short, I have worked in majority of my time I have worked in 3 organizations. First 10 years in Nokia and Nokia Siemens Networks, and I was in a global development role. First 6 years in Nokia Networks, and I started actually in a role that was a new role. It had not been there before, and I wasn't very clear what really are the expectations, what is the scope, what is expected of me. So I was in a way stepping into a very unknown waters, but it was a really positive learning experience. I got to define this key user network, global process, global concept. So I was a business owner for quite a large demand supply planning area. I could, there's a lot of Nokia details that maybe not everybody understands, but it was a global development role where it was about concepts, about developing business processes, and definitely also creating that community of key users. So it was a lot about the people as well. Mm-hmm. So doing that successfully was really something where I learned a lot, and where I also had my interest rising in that I really want to work in HR, because in HR, on this strategic HR role, you can really make a positive impact on people. And if you can make that positive impact on people, it will definitely make a positive impact on the company and on the results of the company. So after this Nokia phase, the Nokia Networks and Siemens was announced to be merged. And I wanted to do something concretely around this change. And I joined change leadership team for Nokia Siemens Networks, where we were creating this change leadership frame for all the line managers. So really creating guidance and very simple tools, how they can lead their teams in this really big integration and really big transformation and change that everybody, the thousands of people were going through that were a part of these 2 companies. Mm-hmm. So that was a really, really positive phase. I think it was really positively impactful that we managed to do the frame. And I also went out to different countries, training line managers and talking about this change leadership and how do you lead your people in the change. So I think that was really one of the highlights. After that, I joined Alström, and I joined as the VP Organization Development, Talent Development. So I was developing global processes, global ways of working, and really connecting with everybody globally in the company. And one of the highlights really is, as I said, I care about people. So I was also developing the early talent leadership program, which is called JUMP. And it's so positive when you get to meet all these young talents, and when you see how they are getting so much out of the program. And also in that program, we had a mentoring as part of the program, and they really started to shine, and how they really connected with each other, and how they created lifetime relationships, and they really started to shine even more. Something that I think is always really, really positive, and you get to see that impact that you have made. But then I was also the chief HR officer for quite a number of years in Qt company as well as in Alström. And that's something that I really, really enjoyed, because then you can, as part of the management team, as the head of the function, you can really have a positive impact on the culture of the company, the leadership of the company, the priorities, how things are done, the objectives set. So in so many different levels, that has a positive impact on people and on the company.
What do you think, Tarja, in this economy in Finland and globally as well, in this current environment we are all experiencing with, on the one hand, we have the wars going on, we have changes politically, we have technological advancements. What do you think should be, or you would wish companies to keep in mind when they're thinking about their future, how they're moving forward, what legacy they should give, what purpose-driven business they should do, because everybody maybe is panicking or thinking of what lies ahead, and they're maybe more cautious or letting people go? Or how would you, given your knowledge, what would be the one thing or the things that you want companies and leaders still today to keep in the back of their mind when making tough decisions, even, or everyday decisions? How should they lead? What is it? Is it something that they should definitely keep in mind when they're making decisions?
Wow, what a question! And I could answer this in a very long way, but well, I think one of the priorities for the leaders today is to take care of themselves, is to lead themselves in the best possible way. There's so much that is coming on the plates of the leaders. I mean, there's so many disruptions, signals, different channels. You're interrupted so many times and competing priorities during the work days that it's really tough for the brains of the leaders, and it's really tough for the leaders to manage and lead in the world we are today in any company. So I think it's really important that you take the best care of yourself. So you ensure that you're sleeping enough, you're taking exercise, you have a good balance in your life, and that gives you the energy to really also focus in the priorities in the workplace. And I think that's one of the key words: focus on the priorities. Give a good focus on what you're doing. And here I would connect it with the sustainable leadership that I was also talking when we met in the Henley masterclass. So of course there's these daily struggles, and there's a lot of ad hocs, and there's a lot of things that are happening every day, which is important. You have to deal with those. But at the same time, you really have to think about the future and what is helping us to be successful also in the future. And everything is about your people. The people is the ones that are making the business successful. So understand who are working in your team, who are the people, where are they in their lives, what is the support they need, how are you giving them sort of the guidance and the focus, and how are you developing them further. And also it's important to decide not to do. I think in a lot of the companies there's always some new priorities and things that are added on the plate, but it's also equally important to decide what are the things that we don't need to do right now, what are really, and it's going back to the having clarity on the focus and on the targets that really make sense and is important for everyone. So maybe summarizing, taking care of yourself and really understanding and leading your people in the team and having a very clear priorities for today and also for tomorrow.
And sustainable leadership, you said that was the topic of your keynote as well. And I would like to ask you, what are the priorities, since now you're an entrepreneur and you have your own company, Takko Advisory? What are the priorities you're focusing on? What kind of work you're doing? What kind of services? What kind of clients you choose to work with? And also you said that, knowing you a little bit better, I see that you are a woman who doesn't see dollar signs and euro signs, and of course you make a business and you need to earn a living, obviously, like everybody, but you do a lot of work, as you mentioned, pro bono, and I think that's admirable. I told you I want to be mentored by you, be your mentee. And tell us a little bit about what you're doing currently the past half a year, and what is your vision for the future? Where do you see the next 6 months? What lies ahead?
Yeah, I started my company because I really wanted to do something impactful. I really wanted to do something that has a purpose. And I really felt that I want to commit my time in a way in giving back. So either helping companies or helping individuals, helping teams. So really using all that experience that I have in the best possible way to make a world a better place, to put it in a very big picture. So I have been, and I think it's been really, really exciting and wonderful past 7-8 months now as an entrepreneur. And I've had quite a big diversity of different things that I have been focusing. So working with large stock listed companies on transformation, so trying that positive people focused transformation, really interesting. Working on leadership development, portfolio renewal, so having a chance to really focus and having a positive impact on the leadership on that company. Then I have been also assessing, analyzing, auditing people and culture, communication processes and practices, and also continuing as a strategic advisor for that company. So really working on these strategic people and culture and leadership topics. I have been coaching a couple of CEOs, which has been really interesting as a process. And then I've also had this social impact. Let's say that I'm still planning. I'm calling it a Project Hope, something that I'm working with my studying friend. So we really are looking into doing something impactful for the young people in the world. Maybe we are starting in Finland, but really doing something that helps the young people that must be struggling today, because the world is so gloomy and there's so much negative news out there, that how do we help them create hope for the world, create meaningful lives for themselves, and also transition from studying life to work life in a very smooth way. So it's still something that we are brainstorming, but let's see when we are getting something concrete and when we are really starting to do something impactful.
And is it takkoadvisory.com? People can check out more, right?
It is, yes.
Takkoadvisory.com. For more information, you can check out. And of course, I guess you would welcome people to connect with you on LinkedIn. Is it okay? Do you accept people?
Definitely, yes.
Great. I also like that, some people have different rules. Of course, I want to ask because some people might think that I only want to connect with people I met in person. To me, my approach is different. I see as a LinkedIn connection as a handshake at a conference. I see LinkedIn as a global conference where people who haven't really met in person, that's the digital platform where they can extend an invitation, a handshake. So I gladly accept myself. And that's where I think the magic happens and fruitful discussions and cooperation and anything can happen. Tarja, I would like to ask you, part of this show, Connections Unplugged, is creating this red thread amongst the guests. So my previous guest, I had Hubert Grealish, an exceptional man from Ireland, living in Finland since COVID times. They got stuck here with his wife and pregnant then wife after COVID. So Hubert has had a great career in major companies from Philips and so on, CNBC, and major communications and media outlets. And he asked a question to you. He asked, what makes you laugh and how you can incorporate laughter into your purpose-driven initiatives. And then I want you to ask a question to my next guest. What makes you laugh?
First of all, I think laughing is super important, and I have always been saying that in the workplace, one of the priorities is to have fun. And it doesn't mean that we wouldn't be doing excellent business or being serious business women or men, but I think it's really important part of the culture that you're having fun in workplace. And of course, having fun also outside of the work is super important. A lot of people are mentioning my humor, that they're appreciating it. And I don't, for me, it's very difficult to define that, what makes it, why they are mentioning that. But laughter for me is just really important. I tend to find a positive in everything, positive side of things in everything. And I think everybody can do that if they really think about it. So laughter is in my life every day in many different small things, bigger things. So I don't really know what concretely makes me laugh. But for me, it's easy to laugh, and I laugh a lot at work and outside of work.
And I think it's important what we discuss also with Hubert and what you're saying now, what I hear is that you don't have to take yourself so seriously. In my previous episode, when Hubert was here, he even beatboxed live on the show. He gave a little challenge to you to do the same. First, he said that I should sing for you 2 words. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I don't know. Do you have any secret talent that people don't know you'd like to share with us today?
Well, actually, I started to talk about it last year, and I am not a singer. I'm not at all a singer. I love to sing when I'm driving car by myself, but I somehow felt that I'd like to do a rap song.
Oh, so really?
I'm not going to rap here.
Definitely, I should connect you with Hubert. Yes, we can make a rap song, and this kind of creativity, I think that because you come also from the social sciences, you're interested in psychology, but you have also the background in economics. I think that's where the magic happens, when the cross-fertilization is happening. Because if you have only one hat and you're looking only from one perspective, how boring this is, and having people agreeing with you and not bringing any input from a different discipline, from a different culture, from a different background. So I think this cross fertilization, and I think you bring that very well, because you have the diverse background. You lived in different cultures and countries. You worked in different industries. You're an entrepreneur. You're this and that. Where do you think? Where do you stand on this? Do you see the beauty and the not taking yourself seriously, being curious, learning from different people, different setups? How is this playing into your life?
Oh, it's all about me. And I'm talking a lot about building bridges. I think it's when we are connecting and working together, and that's also part of the sustainable leadership, that you really should be thinking outside of the box and not reflect what has been done before and how things have been done before, but really stopping to think that times are different, and we really need to be connecting and building those bridges and as a bigger team of people joining forces, bringing that diversity into things that we are focusing on and we are really driving forward, it has such a big impact. It has so much more impact when we are doing that. And that's what we need, and I'm talking about this positive impact. So if all of us are thinking a bit differently and really not only focusing on ourselves, but on the people that are around us, and building those bridges and connections and stepping into crazy ideas and also not just focusing on the alley that you have been on for your whole life, but really thinking, what else can I do? What else could be something that is, again, impactful for somebody or a bigger group of people?
And maybe stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? So if you have someone to just gently push you a little bit, that do something a little bit beyond what's expected from you, what you've always been doing. Tarja, is there anything else in your mind that you would like to share with everybody tuning in and listening? Connections Unplugged, Tarja Takko with me today. Inspirational leader, mentor, entrepreneur.
Yeah, you also asked
What is the one message, something that we haven't touched upon? And then I want your question, of course, for the next guest.
And you asked my vision, which I didn't really answer. And my vision is to, well, it's to do everything I can to make this world a better place. And that is about building the bridges. It's about connecting with people. It's about think in new ways. It's about acting. It's about doing something, hopefully every day. And one thing maybe that I would really like to leave for the listeners, to all of you out there, is that, which I really like, is the saying that future is made today. So don't think about that I'll propose, I'll do it tomorrow, or let's see if I have the energy, or let's see if I can, or if I will, or if something happens. But think about that your actions, what you are doing today, will have an impact on so many ways in your own life and in the lives of people and the communities around you. So stopping to think that future is made today. I think it's really a powerful thing to think about, and it can actually lead you to think about quite deeply on different things.
Excellent. The future is made today. You heard it from Tarja Takko. Think about the actions you can start today and put you a little bit step forward to the legacy you want to leave behind, to the change you want to make in this world, in this planet, in your community, in your family, in your life. Tarja, please ask a question to my next guest. You don't know who they are, but I will ask them to watch our episode, listen to our discussion, and then they will hear your question. And you will hear their answer when watching their episode.
Maybe I'll build it on this future is made today. Mm-hmm. So I would just throw the challenge to the next guest to think about that. What is one thing I could do differently today or starting tomorrow that would have a different impact on the future of my future, or the future in a wider scale?
Great. So you heard the question, and everybody out there, let us know on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, right down there in the comments. I want to hear your answers to Tarja's questions. What could you do today that has an impact in your future? Did I say it correctly?
Yeah. And maybe it's about what you do differently.
What would you do differently today that could have a positive impact then and shape your differently your future? Because you're right, in a way, all the decisions we made, and I've been thinking about this a lot, we are finding ourselves either stuck in routine and being having a task paralysis, or we're petrified for things that scare us, the unknown, or different life and professional situations. But then you are often found in life in this crossroads that you're taking decisions, and small actions can lead to so many different alternative universes and scenarios that it's amazing. If you think back, allow me to ask this question now, since I have you here. I want to pick your brains. Tarja, if you could go back in time, is there any time you would take a different decision, that you would do something different in hopes of getting a better future for you? Has it been such a, would you turn back time if there was a time machine?
Yeah, I think I have been quite courageous in some decisions. For example, moving to Hong Kong, I had never visited even Asia, and I had a baby who was 2 months old. Mm-hmm. But I think it's about the courage. So maybe in some decisions, in some phases of my life, I could have had even more courage to take the bold decisions that are really listening to my inner voice and are really positive to me in a way. So adding a bit of courage in the decisions, but not really changing concretely. I don't know what concretely could be now done differently, but underline the courage, the importance of courage.
Courage, that's great. I'll keep that myself. I think it's important to have. And what you say in Finland, also the Finnish word sisu, isn't it? Sisu can have some kind of courage, right? It's a courage, a perseverance. You push forward. Maybe it is very deeply rooted, at least in the culture.
It is, and I think it's also deeply rooted in me. A lot of people are saying that, wow, you have a lot of this. I'm not giving up easily, and I think that if somebody can do something, I can learn it as well. So it's something that don't limit yourself. It's important to think that you can, if somebody learns something, you can definitely also get there. Of course, it might need a lot of practice and yeah, but it's good to think about that I can do anything I decide to do, where I put my efforts and my energy.
Great. You can do anything you want to do out there. Have the courage. And there might be some naysayers and people saying no to you. But if you trust yourself and you work and you learn and maybe have a person in your life, I would go back to you being a mentor and wanting to mentor people. Check out Tarja Takko on LinkedIn, connect with her, pick her brains, get to work and know her, and ask her to be your mentor. And lots of interesting projects you can open up the discussion with Tarja. I think she's a great person to give insights and help you for whatever intent or purpose, business or professionally or in a personal life even. I think you're very inspirational, a lady that at least I like to look up and learn from your example. Thank you so much, Tarja, for joining me today here.
Thank you so much, Krissa. It was definitely my pleasure.
Thanks a million, Tarja. I'll say bye for now, and we will hopefully we meet in person soon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. And everybody, thank you for tuning in and listening. Connections Unplugged goes live with the help of OneStream, live every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Finnish time, EET. And of course, the content stays there forever on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Facebook. Reach out to me if you want to be featured on the show. I'm looking for interesting guests to bring here. As you see, I don't bite. It's interesting and fun. I like to get to know you better and, of course, to introduce you to the rest of the world, to my network, and have this interesting discussions. Hopefully you enjoyed this show with Tarja Takko. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.